The aluminum is available in large quantities in the Earth's crust, near the Earth's surface that not free in nature. In addition, the raw material for aluminum called bauxite, it has a special process called Bayer process that used to refine aluminum from bauxite. The production of aluminum needs some materials that mix with aluminum like aluminum oxide and carbon, and the procedure need in production are electricity and heating process. However, the aluminum having some classification like metallic and non-ferrous metal. Also, it have some description such as excellent conductor for electricity, man-made material, relatively lightweight. Pure aluminum is soft and weak after adding silicon and iron, become hard and durable material, and high thermal stability because the melting point is 2050 Celsius, which nowadays aluminum used for window frames and highway signs because it's good resistance to weathering and corrosion. The copper found in the free and pure metallic state in nature and combined with other elements to form compounds. There are some rocks that contain these compounds are called copper ores. While the process need to produce the copper as follows, the raw material for copper must be crushed and finally ground to be liberated from the waste material or gang. The mixed finally ground ore with water and concentrated the flotation to let the copper comes at the top, then de-watered and filtered to produce a filter cake that is sent to a copper smelter. Further, the copper having some classification like metallic and non-ferrous metal. As well, it have some descriptions such as a good conductor, resistance to corrosion, and high thermal stability because the melting point is 1085 Celsius, whereas the copper used for connecting wire and water pipe because its good resistance to corrosion and unusual ability to conduct electric current. Plastic is a synthetic, the primary source or the raw material of its chemical that come from petroleum, oil, natural gas or coal. By the way, the production process for plastic is heating the petroleum, oil, natural gas or coal to break down into molecules. Then the molecules join into chains. These chains make up plastics, whereas the plastic can be made into almost any shape by heating them at a high temperature. The plastic heated to be softened, which can be poured into a mold. However, the plastic having some classification like polymeric, compound, organic, non-metallic, and non-ferrous. Additionally, it have some description such as strong, durable, long-lasting, lightweight, non-conductor, man-made, tough, low density, resistant to corrosion, and low thermal stability because the melting point is 93 Celsius. Also, the plastic used as good electrical or heating insulators because it's good versatility, durability, and low cost. The rubber having two types. The natural rubber comes from trees called latex, where the scientific name is Hiva tree, and the synthetic rubber comes from chemicals found in petroleum, natural gas, and grain alcohol, where the natural rubber is started by cut out the bark of the Hiva tree partly to let the milky liquid exudes from the wound and dried to yield rubbery film, and the synthetic rubber is made by mixing two products of petroleum refining called polymerization methods because the monomers that make up the polymer chains They are mixed with substances to make liquid latex, then it's dried into rubber. On the other hand, the rubber having some classification like non-metallic, polymeric, non-ferrous, and compounds. In addition, it has some description such as non-conductor, elastic, and generally soft, but there are some tough types of rubbers, membrane, flexible, and low thermal stability. Today, the rubber used as spark plug boats and hoses where oil resistance is crucial. Carbon fiber made from a raw materials called precursor, and it divided into DNA carbon fiber, pitch carbon fiber, and rayon carbon fiber. The carbon fiber comes from coal tar. In manufacturing process, various gases and liquids are used to produce carbon fiber by heat treatment and pyrolysis of DNA, and synthetic material is made from petroleum feedstock, but there are extra materials to be added to the material to give it classification, whereas the carbon fiber having some classification like compounds, non-metallic, non-ferrous, and polymeric. Also, it have some description such as high strength, toughness, lightweight, conducts electricity, abrasive, man-made, durable, resistant to corrosion, heat insulation, fire resistance, not flammable, and high thermostability because it heated between 1600 and 2000 Celsius, and carbon fiber used in aircraft because reinforcement products it for high temperature molded plastic compounds for cells. The fiberglass made from liquid glass that obtained directly from a glass melting furnace or the melting of performed glass marbles, whereas the fiberglass produced by dropping molten glass or glass marbles into an electrically heated platinum rhodium, pushing pierced by hundreds or even thousands of fine orifices. The fibers are brought together into a single strand below by pulling the glass with a mechanical wonder at linear speeds. Why the fiberglass having some classification like compounds, non-metallic, non-ferrous, and polymeric, and it has some description such as non-conductor, tough, abrasive, lightweight, man-made, and low thermal stability because the melting point is 232 Celsius. As well, the glass fiber used in fiber reinforced plastic and thermal insulation wool because it's used as tough elastic solids and thick film conductor resistor. The fiberglass made from liquid glass that obtained directly from a glass melting furnace or the melting of performed glass marbles, whereas the fiberglass
The steel it is an alloying iron and carbon less than 1% of carbon. Iron and carbon comes from the air crust. They make up 5% and 0.025% of the earth crust relatively. In addition, the heat source used to melt iron ore is produced. Next, the iron ore is melting in furnace. Finally, the molten iron is processed to produce steel. However, the steel having some classification like metallic alloy, ferrous. It is also have some description such as resistant to corrosion and it is good conductor. It is also a magnetic and has high melting point 1371 Celsius. Nowadays, steel used for car bodies, structural steel machines, and also for the tools required to build and manufacture. Stainless steel, it is alloying iron and iron ore, silicon, nickels, and other low percentage of chemical elements are melted together in an electric furnace. The mixture is casted into different kinds of shapes such as slabs. Then it is casted to solid form. Further, the stainless steel have some classification such as metallic alloy ferrous. As well, it have some descriptions such as resistant, poor conductor, and non-magnetic. The melting point form 1325 to 1530 series depends on the type of the stainless steel. Whereas the stainless steel used in kitchen utensils can be strong for food processing factories, building accessories, and roofing. The meaning of zinc or the heating their oxide ores with the carbon the process called reduction. The most used method in the production of zinc is electrolytic production. However, the zinc having some categorization like metallic, non-ferrous, also it has some description such as weak to corrosion, shiny, and it has a low melting point with 420 Celsius, which nowadays zinc used for iron roofing tanks, bucket, rust-proof bins, and also can be used to protect structural steel from corrosion, and it used in medical uses like creams and medicine. The iron is mined and refined from underground. Basically, we can produce iron from mixing iron ore with charcoal coke in a blast furnace and heat it to high temperature to get iron. Then this iron is further processed to reduce carbon and slag and to added alloys. However, the iron having some categorization like it is metallic and ferrous. Also, it has some descriptions such as good conductor, magnetic, and it has high melting point 1538 series, which nowadays iron uses for structural elements and machines. Lead is a pure chemical element taken from underground. It's made and refined lead or to start with sintering lead or is fed into a sintering machine with iron and other elements. That mixer is blasted without hot air to burn off the sulfur and sent to the smelter. By the way, molten lead is refined may be made into alloys or casted directly. However, the lead having some classification like metallic, non-ferrous. Additionally, it has some descriptions such as soft high density, highly dribbles, resistant to corrosion, low melting point with 163 series, ductile, it can be extended without breaking, excellent conductor. Nowadays, lead used inside car batteries.